Hey y'all, it's Chris from Frontsite. So I got a little bit of a cold. It is cold, and I'm getting a cold, so that's never a good combination. But I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about the Glock Gen 6 pistols. There's been a lot of stuff coming out about Glock, and are they caving to, the California pressure to make the V models and things like that. And I went over that on a different video that you can see right here. But I want to talk specifically about this new Gen 6 model that came out. And I saw a video about it. I saw a guy actually get to use it and shoot a little bit. And I want to talk about a couple things that I like and some things that I'm waiting to see that come out to see if it actually does make a difference. So the first thing I want to talk about with this new pistol is obviously the new look of it. Right? There's a few things that if you look kind of closely, you'll notice will be a little bit different than the Gen 5 or Gen 4 model Glock pistols. And so the first thing I want to talk about at the rear of the gun is the extended beaver tail. Now typically, the beaver tail is there to help you keep from getting slide bite. And because, and I'll explain this real quick to some of y'all that may not know, a lot of you that watch this probably already do know, so bear with me. But with a Glock pistol and any pistol, you want to get high up on the back strap of that gun. That way you can help manage recoil better, right? It's a better grip. Well, with a Glock, a lot of times they have a very, very tiny beaver tail, and sometimes people with meaty hands get a little too high and they'll get what's called slide bite, where the slide will come back and rub the top of the meaty portion of their hand and cut their hand. Can you bear through that and deal with it? Yeah, of course, but is it something you want to do when you're just out shooting, having a good time? Not really, right? So one of the things they did was Glock added a couple of pieces in their little box that come with the pistol. But the problem is, while you're adding a beaver tail to it, you're also adding width to the actual grip itself. And the problem with that is individuals that want that protection with that beaver tail because they like that high grip and they don't want the bite. The problem is if they have small hands, now they're adding that width to the grip and they're killing some of their grip as well. So, 6 and 1/2 dozen in the other, either way, it's not going to be good. And so I've never been a fan of Glock just for that specific reason, because I love a big beaver tail. Like I love 1911s. I love their beaver tail. But I think if they would have added that piece without the added width, it would have been beneficial. And look, they just did. Gen 6 has a beaver tail without adding any width. So that's a good thing. The next thing I noticed was the stippling. It's a little different. It looks a little bit more aggressive. It's not super aggressive, but it looks a little bit more standoutish, I guess you could say. So I'm hoping, again, I haven't had a chance to touch one yet, and I'm hoping I get a chance to here soon, but especially when I go to SHOT Show here in January. But it looks like it might be a little bit more aggressive, giving you a little bit more grip on that pistol, which is a great thing. And if you look just further south on the grip itself, you're going to notice that it seems like the magwell is a little bit flared. Look, dude, either flare it out or don't. This whole middle ground thing, like I get it. Some people love it, some people don't. The benefits of a flared magwell, specifically when you're reloading, right? It makes it really easy to do a reload because a lot of times that magazine, if you don't have one and you don't train well with it, you might hit and miss or whatever, right? It makes it difficult to get in there. But with that flared magwell, it gives you a little bit more forgiveness when you're trying to do a reload. So it looks like it might be a little bit flared, but is that going to affect some of the aftermarket parts you can go on there? Maybe, maybe not. I'm sure people will make parts that go on that specifically. So I guess we'll see. Some people don't like a flared magwell, especially if they're not using extended magazines, because sometimes the magazine might stick in the pistol and you have to strip it out. Or if you do have say a double feed of some sort and you got to strip that magazine, it's difficult to do when you have a flared magwell kind of blocking the bottom of the magazine. So again, if you haven't trained and you don't know how to deal with that kind of issue, you really need to find some training. And here soon you'll be able to get on Frontsite and do that. You can actually get on the web version and do that. So let's talk about the next piece that I really, really like. And I'm just kind of looking at it, and it's not as profound or as pronounced, I guess, as I would think it could be, but it might do. And again, I haven't had a chance to put my hands on it yet, so we'll see. But one thing I'm kind of excited about is what we call the gas pedal. Now, the gas pedal is when you have that thumbs forward grip, you have that thumb kind of right below the slide along the side of the pistol. And a lot of times when people like to have there's an aftermarket part you can put on there that you push your thumb down, and it helps maintain that flat recoil, right? Helps you maintain that recoil management. And what's good about that is it keeps your barrel and keeps your slide moving backwards and forwards and keeps you from having muzzle flip. It's just an extra tool to help you with that. So I like it. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how it feels. I hope it does help a little bit, because that could be a really good, I won't say game changer, but could be beneficial for some people. The last thing I want to talk about is the trigger itself, and when the trigger guard. So the trigger guard has been cut a little bit where the trigger guard meets the actual grip part, and it looks like it's a little bit thinner, which is good because a lot of people, when you're drawing and shooting, that piece rubs the top of your middle finger here, and it's kind of bulky. So they cut that back a little bit, which might help a little bit with your grip and getting inside the trigger guard. And the other part of that is the trigger itself. The trigger itself is a flat trigger. It looks kind of cool, and I do love a flat trigger. I have a Timney trigger in my Shadow Systems pistol, which is just a Glock clone, basically. But I really love that flat trigger and the feel of it. It's sharp, it's crisp, and it's just a better feel. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works, if that is a competition trigger, like with the new Glock triggers or not. We'll see, but looking forward to seeing what that looks like here shortly. Well, I think that's it for the Glock. The one that I saw today was the Glock 19. So I'm hoping that the other ones will come out as well. I did see a picture of a Glock 45 MOS. I think that's kind of my new favorite Glock, is the Glock 45. It's got the ammo capacity of a Glock 17, but the shorter slide of a Glock 19. So I think it's kind of best of both worlds. So looking forward to getting a hold of one of those here at SHOT Show. Also looking forward to getting a hold of a lot of different guns when I go to SHOT Show. So if any of you have any suggestions, maybe new companies or smaller companies that are out there that might be coming to SHOT Show, shoot them to me in the comments. I will be happy to look them up and try to make contact with them and talk to them and really push Frontsite. Looking forward to getting Frontsite out there to SHOT Show, getting everybody on there, and getting you the information you want to find quickly and easily without having to be shadow banned or having to look through emails or getting all these weird text messages from different companies. It just gets old. So looking forward to getting all that out there so we can get this app really rolling. So looking forward to that. Hope to see you on the next one. Welcome to the revolution. Welcome to Frontsite.